Welcome into the CHGO White Sox Podcast, coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, CHGO White Sox beat writer Vinnie Duber, and the man in the middle is Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him at Ecknerwall23. You can follow Vinnie at Vinnie Duber. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Should I do the handles? Should I not do the handle?
It's now become a thing.
You're on the show.
Made it a thing.
We have three of us. This is a very easy way to just put this to rest.
Four of us. Sorry.
That's true.
But Sarah's not on Twitter, or if she is, she won't tell us.
Here's the thing, though. Three of us, I don't think I should be a part of the vote. So
you want me, Herb, and Sarah to vote?
Yes.
On whether you should say the Twitter handles or not.
Of the people on the show.
Okay.
I vote yes.
Okay.
Because I think it's always good just to remind people to follow us on Twitter. That way they can get the most out of our show and content.
Especially Vinny.
Especially Vinny.
That's true.
He's got all the good news.
That's one person. One vote for yes.
It's not always good.
I mean,
if you're a White Sox fan.
Yeah.
You want me to vote? I'm going to wait for Herb to vote. I'd pass. I defer to the second half.
You check.
Yes.
Yeah, I check.
Put it
you
out
say
there.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. Doesn't matter what I was
You can follow
gonna
the
vote.
show at CHGO_White Sox. And obviously our producer today is Sarah.
Hi.
Hello. Make sure you're hitting the like button and make sure you are subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Did you hear this? This is crazy. And I love all of the people that watch us.
We got Jay Leno over there?
Yeah.
Did you hear this? Did you hear this?
You hear this? I drove a crazy car today. It's a Toyota Corolla with one of the hubcaps missing.
Sounds like it's in Jay's collection.
Anyways, this is crazy. 89 super chats on the CHGO Bears
Let's beat it.
show. We don't have 89 viewers.
Well, not currently.
Not currently, but I don't think we've
Over the course of time,
this
though.
off season. I don't know, like live viewers. Like if this show reaches 89 viewers, I'd be surprised. We do have some new diehards though. We got Kendrick, Kent, Matt, and Steven. I'm pretty sure all of those people are White Sox fans. Yes.
They should be super chatting like they were on the Bears show.
Hey, come on. But we appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Make sure you subscribe and make sure that you let us know that you're hanging out, like KPW, Kevin, Brandon, William, Dan, White Sox Tom. We appreciate you. On today's show, we are basically just talking about Dylan Cease. I don't think I actually want to talk about anything else.
Did we time travel back to December? Dylan Cease trade rumors?
Well,
did you see? I was pretty happy with my tweet. We had Dylan Cease trade rumors like it's December. It's 70 degrees outside like it's June. We have no idea what month it is.
Hey, maybe it'll be this nice in July. Maybe it'll be nicer.
Oh, for more Dylan Cease trade rumors, you're saying.
Yeah.
That's when the Venn diagram crosses over into each other?
But here's the thing, Vinny and Herb, because you're also a part of the conversation. Sarah, you too. And hey, even the listeners out there, you guys are all part of the conversation. He's still on the team.
Yeah. He's pitching tonight.
That's why the rumors are out there.
Yeah.
So first off, let's just start with the Yankees. Talked a little bit about it yesterday. It seems like a Dylan Cease trade could happen to the Yankees if they were willing to include Spencer Jones. Am I wrong?
Well, because Gerrit Cole is hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
We talked about that yesterday. Gerrit Cole is currently having an MRI on his elbow, and Aaron Boone said that there is no update on Gerrit Cole today, so I could likely assume that he's dead.
Wow. That seems like a leap, but yeah.
I won't jump to conclusions here. But Spencer Jones, is this the true hang-up, or are they waiting for Gerrit Cole to have a more clear diagnosis?
Maybe. Go ahead, Vinny.
I would just say my thought, which Herb, you hit on quite a bit when we were talking about this yesterday, would be if you're the Yankees, you'd want to see if you could have it both ways, right? You'd want to see if you could get an ace-type pitcher and keep your top 100 prospects, of which they have, I believe, 4. They have several guys that are very highly rated up there. The kid you're talking about, Spencer Jones, obviously, very high among them. But Blake Snell is a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
They're the Yankees. They could just take their Yankee money and go spend it on Blake Snell, and then they would have both a new starting pitcher for the top of their rotation and this same top 100 prospect. If the idea is that they didn't want to give him up in December for Dylan Cease, if the idea is that they didn't want to give him up in January for Dylan Cease, and if the idea is now that they don't want to give him up in March for Dylan Cease, I mean, and even in the world-changing event that the reigning Cy Young winner is out, they probably don't want to give him up. And if you're the Yankees, wouldn't you just say, let's go spend whatever money it takes to get Blake Snell. Let's go spend whatever money it takes to get Jordan Montgomery, because in that division, coming off a year in which they didn't make the playoffs, absolutely they're desperate. But they are still in a spot, given the way that this offseason has played out, or yet to play out, I guess you could say, to go out and get a Cy Young caliber pitcher and hang on to all their prospects.
It seems like a really smart idea. How do you replace a Cy Young, Herb?
You go and sign one with a Cy Young on Blake Snell. But I would think that I'm looking at the Spencer Jones thing, and I got it. Power hitting outfielder, lefty bat, that would work at guaranteed rate field. I'm just not enthralled with that return. Like, I need more for Dylan Cease. I think that, yes, Chris Getz would probably, that's what he asked for, and the Yankees balked at it. But I would think he would need more. You're desperate now, so let's put your feet to the fire. Yeah, Spencer Jones is going to be part of the deal, but you're also giving up this guy, that guy, that guy. Ask for what you want, and I think that's what Chris Getz did with the Reds, with the Orioles, and with the Yankees in these trade talks. And when they balked at the prices, people were like kind of clowning Chris Getz. It's like, this rook doesn't know what he's doing. He's asking for way too much. He's asking for the world for Dylan Cease. Now you see, the White Sox are back in the driver's seat with comfortability, and Chris Getz is like, hey, I don't have to take your offer. You have to take my offer. And yes, Blake Snell is out there. If you want to go that Blake Snell route, smooth, do it. But also, if you want to come and get an actual pitcher when your reigning Cy Young is ailing, come on real, because we have the leverage right now as White Sox, and you have to come to us instead of we coming to you. So, yeah, I see Spencer Jones as a good high prospect, but I would have to ask for much more for Spencer Jones because you have them over a barrel right now.
Agreed. Vinny's point, though, of you can just go sign them looms, because if you don't balk to their price in a way, they could just go sign Blake Snell, you'd think. I mean, you'd think that he'd want to pitch. We saw this played out with Keuchel and Kimbrel in 2020?
Yeah.
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
So, there's a precedent before. I think both of those guys were Bohr's clients.
That was because of the weird
CBA.
The thing that doesn't exist anymore, the draft picks being attached to. You would lose a draft pick if you were to sign them. And so teams literally waited until a day after the draft was over to go and sign those two guys. That doesn't exist for these guys now. More of this is just a market situation at this point.
And I understand that Spencer Jones is a top prospect, but he's not going to play this year, right? He's not going to be on the Yankees roster this year.
Well, that's the thing. So this is an extreme case of prospect hugging. So thank you, Herb, for leading us. You're really driving the conversation. You want to switch seats?
No.
I'm just fucking with you. The Yankees do have 4 top 100 prospects, according to MLB Pipeline. You got Jason Dominguez, who likely won't play for the Yankees. Came up last year. They hit like 4 homers in like 8 games. It was really cool. They call him the Mutant. If he was a part of
That's his nickname?
The Mutant.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's diminutive too, right?
He's diminutive. Who are you guys? I was wearing the big hat yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Who are you guys referring
Marvin
to?
the Martian.
No. The Great Gazoo.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that wasn't it.
Pablo Sanchez.
Maybe it was the Great Gazoo. Jason Dominguez kind of also gives that, just with his head. I don't know. If you want to look him up, you'd kind of see he's kind of a funny-looking head. But he's undergoing Tommy John. So he's obviously going to have like a weird recovery.
He's on the way back from that. He already had it many months ago, I would imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would be able to play the field until, is it the Martian or the Mutant? I could be wrong.
Marvin the Martian? Oh, do you mean his nickname? Yeah. The nickname for...
You got it wrong there, Sean.
Okay.
You made me sing the X-Men theme song for nothing.
Now everyone's going to think I'm stupid.
He's the Martian, not the Mutant.
El Marciano so I believe that's how you say that in Spanish, or the Martian. So I said the mutant. Might be. Anyways, he's likely not going to be able to play the outfield until June or so. So I don't know if that has a decline on his return. Some people think that he's a top 20 prospect. It doesn't seem likely that he would be included in into a package. Why I don't understand the Yankees are so I don't know, just scared to include Spencer Jones in a package is just confusing to me. They have Alex Verdugo.
Yep.
Who they just traded for.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge.
Correct.
They signed to a big, long contract extension.
And I don't know if you heard this. You heard about the Alex Verdugo trade, so you probably heard about this.
Yeah.
You have Juan Soto. They
Correct.
acquired Juan Soto in a trade.
Who,
and
to be fair to the Yankees, is a free agent at the end of this season.
fair.
Right.
Again, we've established, though, the Yankees have been known to spend a few coins, a few shillings.
They have.
A few,
Some of us remember the Jason Giambi, Randy Johnson days.
Yeah. Regrettably. But also,
Johnny Damon.
Missing the playoffs for Brian Cashman is a huge thing. I think you pointed out, five times in his career. That's it. If you do it back-to-back, your job's on the line, right?
Mm-hmm. In New York it is. Absolutely. Yeah.
Your job's on the line, so push the chips in.
We just gave their starting outfield. Yeah. They also have Giancarlo Stanton, who likely won't be playing the outfield, but maybe he can. And in the Juan Soto trade, they acquired another MLB outfielder in Trent Grisham, who's would be the White Sox third best outfielder. He would beat Dominic Fletcher out for the job.
Oh, 100%.
They have outfielders, and they have Jason Dominguez, the Martian, the mutant, the El Marciano. They don't need Spencer Jones. He might be very intriguing, and he might be very alluring. And I know that the Discord was talking about how the rising cost of free agent contracts is maybe causing these teams to prospect hug. But you're the Yankees. You don't miss the playoffs. I'm 26 years old. In my lifetime, you've missed the playoffs 5 times. You've made the playoffs 21 times in the past 26 years. You just can't do it back to back. Sarah, thank you very much. You got the 2 Spencer Jones graphics. Here is more about Spencer Jones before Vinny and Herb react.
He's tall.
6'6",
Yeah.
235 pounds.
Good-looking cat, too.
He's an outfielder, lefty on lefty. He's in the thumbnail. Him and Dylan Cease are in the thumbnail. Very good-looking guys. Mm-hmm. He's 22 years old. He went to Vanderbilt. Right now, Fangraphs has him as a 30-hit tool. This is on the Vinny's favorite 20 to 80 scale.
Right. Because they just wanted to make it as confusing as possible to give you no reference for what that number would actually mean.
And what's in the middle of 20 and 80? Is it 50?
I don't know. Give me a second. I have to figure it out.
I don't know. For this scale, it is. An average value is 50. So they're saying that, when he maxes out.
Which would be average if it were 100 also.
Maybe I also don't understand the scale. But maybe I think it is, I don't know. I actually don't know.
So the 30 is what he is now, and 45 is what he's projected to be?
Right. So, he's only made it up to AA, played in Advanced A and AA last year, but a 30-hit tool, 45 future value, game power, which means basically how well they're able to take their muscle that they have and actually apply it to their swing. I think you can probably think of, what's the difference of them in a home run derby where they're really just trying to max out all their power? How many homers can they hit? How far can they hit the ball if they're just focusing on power alone? That would be raw power. Game power is, some guys just hit 20 homers, but if you put them in a home run derby, they're just going to, be a massive stud. He's got a 50 game power, 70 future, which is nearly maxing out the 20 to 80 scale, 60 raw power right now with a 70 future grade on that. The interesting thing about Spencer Jones, 55 speed value right now with a 50 future value, and his fielding is all right. Again, 50 is about average. He's currently at a 40, could max out at a 45 if he really rounds out his game. But the big interesting thing when you see his stats, 16 home runs, 43 stolen bases. He's 6'6", and he stole 43 bags. That's interesting, folks. The walk rate stuff isn't really crazy in advanced A and double A. You see 49 walks and 155 Ks. But right now, so far, through spring training, and this was as of March 9th, Spencer Jones saw 31 pitches outside the strike zone in spring training. He swung at just one of them, and he only swings at pitches 57% of the time in the zone, at least during spring training. So he's been extremely selective. He hasn't swung at the first pitch once in spring training yet. That might have changed in the past 3 days, but he is, maybe possibly working on that patience at the plate. And that's why the comp that he would be similar to the guy that is playing for the Yankees right now. He'd probably be a little worse than Aaron Judge. Like, if he maxes out like this, the only person that's this big, this fast, has this much power is that guy. And his other teammate, Stanton. So, he's a very intriguing prospect. So while he only might be 84th in the top 100, this is possibly why the Yankees are hugging him, because maybe they don't sign Soto.
Yeah, and I see, this team, as somebody pointed out, if the White Sox were to acquire him, George Wilco on the team, you get Noah Schultz, you get Colson Montgomery. We're playing basketball. We're balling out here. Tall-ass dudes who can get it done. But, yeah, if the Yankees think of him as Judge Light, yeah, prospect hug.
I love Judge Light.
Yeah, prospect hug, especially in that ballpark. Short right porch right there. You should definitely prospect hug and ask for more than just Dylan Cease. But I'm not an evaluator of baseball talent. I would use the 0 to 100 scale, Vinny, and the 20 to 80 kind of confuses me too. So, but you're getting premium pitching that you need. And yes, this guy might be good eventually, but he's not going to help the Yankees in 2024. And that's the main part for Brian Cashman, and that's the main part that Chris Getz has to sell Brian Cashman on. It's yes, he's going to be good eventually, maybe. But you know who's good now? Dylan Cease. And you know who's really good now? The Baltimore Orioles. You're not getting good, and you're not beating the Baltimore Orioles by not getting a good pitcher right now. If Gerrit Cole's gone, you need to supplement that. And I saw Carlos Rodon has not been doing well. You got injuries to Nestor Cortez. They have a lot of things that are really messed up right now with the Yankees, and they need to push the chips into the pot, because if he does not get it done, he will be gone, Brian Cashman. And then there'll be somebody else trying to trade Spencer Jones next year so they can get better, because they're going to try to sign Juan Soto to the biggest deal of all time. And so I don't know why they're just holding onto this kid if they have no room for him. And somebody said he may be a first baseman in the future. Hey, get him on the field. He's in the lineup, wherever he's at.
No balls would pass him.
Well, I think you got to remember this too. The Yankees, though, they're not the only team. Everything we've said about the Yankees is correct, and you would think that the big thing, the seismic thing that has changed on the Dylan Cease trade front has been that a team that we know to have been interested in him suddenly needs top-of-the-line pitching in a bad way. That being said, the Yankees, it's not like if the White Sox don't make a deal with the Yankees right now, they still can't trade Dylan Cease. And there are teams out there. Hell, how many? It was only a few short weeks ago we were talking about the Orioles having injuries in their rotation and maybe things changing when it comes to their interest level in Cease. Things are going to change throughout the entire course of the summer here. And so there's another reason, though, for the Yankees to be pulling the trigger now, because someone, some other contender might suffer a pitching injury, and they'll be like, well, we'll give you a top 100. We'll give you 2 top 100 guys for Dylan Cease because we're desperate right now. And it really makes sense for any of these teams to, as their landscapes are shifting, as their terrain is changing here at the outset of the season, to keep in mind that the White Sox have what is still the top trade chip on the market.
Well, Yankees assistant GM Edgar Lechuga just said you guys are not getting Spencer for Dylan Cease. No how, no way. So thank you very much. We'll stop this segment immediately. We'll take a break. We'll let people know about Nightengale.
But here's the thing, that's fine to have that opinion. We've got another guy that we hear from all the time, Williams, saying, all right, go ahead and trade, add something to the pile here. Dylan Cease.
Wait, is Sheets driving Cease to the airport?
Well,
what is
I'm not
Sheets
bringing up the
offering to that?
specifics for a reason, but I guess
okay.
my point being, like, why do you need to sweeten the pot if you're the White Sox? You have Dylan Cease.
Exactly.
You are saying that's what I'm thinking. Like, and I did the CHGO Tavern style today, and so maybe we as Chicagoans are overvaluing Dylan Cease like we kind of overvalue Justin Fields, and the rest of the league's like, nah, Justin ain't it. So I'm trying to step back from my White Sox fandom and say, no. Dylan Cease is great. I know he had a bad year last year, but you pointed out in the Discord, Sean, that, yeah, you have a 4.5 ERA last year, but the value he has with the starts and the 3.7 ERA since 2021, he is a top-of-the-line pitcher, if not a 1, a 2, and the Yankees really need that. So, yes, we might be overvaluing him, but I think that you should. Starting pitching is the premium position in baseball. That's why they're paying people a lot of money to do it, and Dylan Cease is one of those guys. In a couple years, he'll get paid and broke off a bunch of money. If you can just get him for a couple of prospects that you're maybe never going to use, why not? Like, yeah, and Sheets are like, ugh, no, we're going to DFA him right now. Get off my team immediately.
Yeah, we don't need to do. He's not relevant. Let's just take a break. We'll jump into more Spencer Jones talk, and you talk about possibly other teams, Vinny, too. There's been some mumblings.
Some mumblings?
Twitter. I don't know how.
And
serious.
unable to hear them?
Are they rumors? Are they mumblings?
Rumblings?
We'll see.
They're
Maybe
tweets.
they're rumblings.
They're tweets, is what they are.
They're tweets.
Yeah.
So we'll be specific. But we'll take a break. We'll let you know about our friends over at Nightengale, and we'll let you know about our friends over at CIRCA. Vinny, take it away.
Wisconsin innovation. 2 words that I said very loudly. But what do you think of when you hear those words? You might think of, man, I would really love to go down a water slide right now, but it's cold outside. Well, Wisconsin's got you. Indoor water park. Maybe you're saying, man, I would really love a cheese curd right now, but like a hot one. Wisconsin's got you.
A kind of socialist way to own a football team.
Sure, yeah. Maybe you're like, I want to own my favorite team, so I guess then I would yell at myself in the comments of a podcast.
And
Wisconsin's got you.
Milwaukee's got the only 3 socialist mayors in history.
See,
Is that true?
That's the Wentworth thing. I messed the line up, but whatever.
the good land.
Yes.
Anyway,
Milwaukee.
also what you would think of is you're like, I want some great tasting beer that might also be the official craft beer of the Chicago White Sox. Wisconsin's got you with Nightengale. Guys, me and Herb are drinking Sunset Wheat, Lakeside Cherry right now, but I was at the Jules the other day, and I tell you what,
Yes.
Wimpy, the shandy is out. It is shandy season. I know it because it's 70 degrees outside right now. Summer is here, and you can go get yourself a nice big case of Liney's Summer Shandy down at the Jules. You can take it out by the lake and have a nice little shandy picnic. You can take it down to the parking lot down at the Rate and have yourself a nice little shandy tailgate. Or you can throw it in the back of the car, drive it all the way on up to Wisconsin, throw it in the back of your canoe, and just paddle around and have yourself a nice shandy day on the water, so to speak. But if you're not a shandy person, and of course you are, but there are many other varieties to choose from. I told you about the Sunset Wheat, the Lakeside Cherry. There's also the Vices, Honey and Berry. There's Liney's Original. Maybe you want to go up to Summerfest this summer. Maybe you're seeing that a very good band that you enjoy might be up there. You go up, you get yourselves a Liney's Original because you're on the north side of the border there. Delicious. Delicious. So here's the part that I have to read. Flavor life's simple moments with Nightengale, the official craft beer of the Chicago White Sox. Go to liney.com/CHGO to find delivery options near you. That's LEINIE.com/CHGO. Or pick up Nightengale pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Nightengale, flavor the moment, celebrate responsibly. The Jacob Nightengale Brewing Company, Chippewa Falls, yes.
And we also want to let you know about our friends over at... also trying to figure out the Fangraphs compare stats thing, and I have no idea. I think scientists made this thing. Okay, anyways. I want to let you know about our friends over at CIRCA Sportsbook. They have tight money line splits and a low hold model where games will strive to be a -110 split on the CIRCA Sports menu, unlike other sportsbooks, which may use a -115 or -120 split. They are the world's largest sportsbook, and they are so proud of their odds. They are so confident in their odds that they want you to go compare lines from each sportsbooks. Download and explore all of the, I think, 6 sports betting apps in Illinois, and you will find that CIRCA, without a doubt, has most of, if not all the time, the best odds for you to bet on. So they want you to place their money with you, and also they don't limit you. If you start winning on their app, every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players. They encourage bettors to download and explore all sports betting apps available, again, to make sure that you can compare your lines and see, again, that CIRCA is the best option for you out there. They currently have college basketball futures. UConn and Purdue are the favorites, also Houston as well. Purdue and Houston at 7-1. UConn at 5-1, and you can also go bet the NBA and NHL. I don't think that the Bulls or Hawks are playing tonight. Okay, great. Well, that's on me, folks. I could
Sarah
have been a little
knows.
bit more prepared. She knows the schedule probably, but you can go bet on the Hawks game tonight with our friends over at CIRCA Sportsbook. Download the CIRCA Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app. That's circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for some CIRCA events, watch parties, and tailgates coming up. I know that they will likely be a party soon. I think it's draft related. NFL draft?
The
related?
NFL draft.
Yes. So if you or somebody you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. Text GMB to 833-234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com. My bad. I could have had those Hawks lines for you, and I didn't. That's on me. Want to talk a little bit about the other teams that could be involved. Also want to talk about if the Yankees do not want to include Spencer Jones, who else could they possibly include, and how could the White Sox possibly improve their team? But there were 3 separate tweets that I thought were interesting. James Fox of Future Sox, who has broken news before in the White Sox organization, more with the international market rather than trades, but quote tweeting Bob Nightengale's "The Yankees, while awaiting news on Gerrit Cole, have re-engaged with the Chicago White Sox and made a new proposal for ace Dylan Cease, but the new offer once again did not include prized outfield prospect Spencer Jones." James said, "Interesting. I've heard there's another team involved as well." And then your former coworker Ryan McGuffey said, "Have heard an offer has been made for Dylan Cease that includes a top 100 prospect and more, and not from the Yankees. Cease is slated to start tonight in Goodyear for the White Sox." And just to follow up with that, this person does not claim to be a source, but
This is just a person.
this is just a person.
So we're reading it anyway.
Well, if Guff's rumor is correct, possibly it could be possibly. All right, fine. I won't read it.
At least credit.
I won't read it.
Well, now you've just teased everybody.
No, I won't read
the
it.
people want to hear it.
It's on my Twitter. I gave it out in the beginning of the show.
I want to hear it, Sean. Read
You
it.
know it. You went out and asked me on the balcony.
God damn it, Sean.
You know it. You know it. I know you know it.
I know, but
You
now
follow
people
me
are
on
like,
Twitter.
"Oh man, Sean's out here teasing us."
I'm not trying to tease anyone. Also, you can go bet on the Blackhawks to win tonight at -110 over at CIRCA.
With the Ducks.
I'm not going to share it.
Okay.
But do you think that there could be another team? Like, I was surprised that
I would not be surprised by that at all. Like, it's not. And the reason for it is that
why now? Why does this? Why did the Rangers? If it is the Rangers, why would the Rangers all of a sudden be like, oh well, the Yankees are in it. Let's go bid with the Yankees.
But you're just hearing about it now. Who's to say these conversations have not been happening for months, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing is that like when you get this stuff, especially when you get it from just random folks on Twitter, not to say they're wrong, but we have no reason to assume that they would be right either, right? Mm-hmm. When they're a random person, when you get it from Guff and from James and those are folks who we know and we trust kind of things. The other stuff though, it's just that it's coming out right now. This is just one little bit of it. I've talked about this before. It's not the full picture. It's not somebody saying, well, after months of not talking to the White Sox at all, the Texas Rangers remembered that Dylan Cease existed and decided to give them a call the other day.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying though is we always talk about like when stuff leaks out, who is it benefiting? Who would it benefit that another team would be involved?
Oh, well, probably the White Sox.
Well, that's I guess my point is that the people that seem connected to the White Sox are getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of ding, 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 dings. Like, I don't know. Even if that person isn't connected, regardless, like, if there are other teams involved, it's likely coming from White Sox sources. So I just don't know how legit that is. The Yankees had something happen that might affect their ball club, and they're in a true pressure cooker of a situation that might lead them to trade Spencer Jones, especially if another team is picking at their possible choice. So I guess that's more of what I'm trying to point out, is that it doesn't seem less like the Rangers are involved and more that the White Sox are very interested in trading Dylan Cease.
Well, I mean, and listen, they've got, as we've talked about many times over the last several months, they would stand to benefit greatly in terms of their long-term project if Dylan Cease were to be traded. You would imagine. You would think that they would get multiple pieces that they could be able to plug in on those, rosters of the future and the depth chart of the future and say, all right, we've got a cornerstone to go along with Colson Montgomery. We've got a cornerstone to go along with Luis Robert Jr. if we're able to materialize that quickly. So yeah, it makes sense why not they would want to trade him, but the upside of trading him makes sense, right? And he's got a lot of value still. But here's the thing. The way that this offseason has progressed, and I call it this offseason because it's still unresolved, right? Herb, we're in the exact same position. The White Sox are in the exact same position. The rest of the league is in the exact same position that everybody was back in December, where it was the White Sox might be waiting to trade Dylan Cease until everybody signs and they know who has the biggest need of pitching, right? Yeah, the Yankees have the biggest need of pitching right now. But as I said at the beginning of the show, they can walk out the door and just hand a big stack of money to Blake Snell and not need to worry about trading anybody. So the White Sox are in the exact same position. Yes, I think that they are, like you say, Herb, in the driver's seat. They have the power. They do not need to stoop down to the level of anybody because, oh no, we got to get rid of Dylan Cease or else kind of thing. But the alternatives still exist for a lot of these, for any team that might be looking for starting pitching. And so I think you can say right now, even though a Gerrit Cole injury is the type of change that we talked about would happen over the course of the season, you could say right now that the White Sox would probably be in the same state that they were in 2 months ago, 3 months ago, where it's maybe the trade deadline is more realistic because that's when the desperation becomes its greatest.
Yeah, and theoretically, Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery would be off the market at that time, so then the White Sox would definitely be having the Yankees, the Orioles, the Rangers, and anybody else who's acquiring Dylan Cease over a barrel. But I would think that we've talked about this already. The Yankees would see that there's two starting left-handed pitchers out there who are at the top of the market, and if they have an injury like that, they would go and sign them. But I think also that Scott Boras got pantsed by the Matt Chapman contract, and he doesn't want his other clients to be pantsed again by the Yankees' desperation. So he's trying to get every penny for those guys because otherwise there's no reason for those guys not to sign right now. I mean, I hear Blake Snell about the Angels, and then if you have the Yankees out there, you're always going to be driving up a price. But the Rangers, I can't see them necessarily coming for the White Sox or Dylan Cease because where's the fire there? Like, they won the World Series. They're cool. They're smooth. They don't have to do anything to appease their fans necessarily. Maybe they have an appetite where they've tasted a little bit and like, I got to have that taste forever now. And we did lose Jordan Montgomery. We can have one of these other pitchers for only the price of our prospects, which we have plenty of them, instead of paying Jordan Montgomery what he wants to get paid.
They lost Jordan Montgomery, and the two guys that they're relying on are Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom. So it's like
85-year-old.
Yeah, right.
And getting paid about that much too.
Yeah, and just yikes.
They're in a competitive division. Like that's
mercy.
we're talking about the Yankees. Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs last year. You would think that would make them more driven and more desperate to avoid that fate again. But the whole point is the Yankees need these guys to compete with Baltimore and Tampa and Toronto. The Rangers need somebody to compete because they got to compete with Houston. They got to compete with Seattle. I mean, you could turn and laugh at the Angels all you want, but there are two other teams in that division that are very much challengers to the Rangers, even though the Rangers are the reigning World Series champs. I mean, it is not a situation where either of those teams are like, we'll be fine, we'll run away with this division regardless. Texas Rangers could look up in June and be in third place pretty easily.
Yeah, I think the Rangers were surprised to even kind of make it. I mean, the Mariners kind of flopped down the end, and
so did they.
Right.
But, yeah.
Well, but, it was just they could have easily missed the playoffs. They could easily miss the playoffs this year. I mean, the Mariners look like they have the rotation, so we'll see. Real quick, Brandon Dillman says, you think the Sox would be in on Soto? Juan Soto, the guy that plays for the Yankees? I think that they would have to offer him money.
They already had Soto.
Well, they don't have any money
he's responding to Matthew saying that the Sox should be involved in the bidding for Soto.
I think we talked about this.
Like,
yes.
Sure, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
there won't be, but
when you have Shohei last year, I would have been involved in that. Mm-hmm. And next year with Juan Soto, who's going to be, 25, 26 in the free agency?
I don't even think.
He's one of the best hitters for his age in the history of baseball. Yes.
26.
They should be in this conversation. And I know, we're as White Sox fans. We know he's not signing here. But if you're going to make that splash, might as well make it for a player like that and have him in your right field for the next 10 years. And if you're trying to open up stadium, have a splash in free agency.
Twist,
but, dumb owners.
Twist my arm,
They don't even need to make him new jerseys. I bet you they got some Gio Soto jerseys laying around.
Right.
58?
Yeah, he was a high number. In the 30s, I think.
They'd have to rip off the number, but 22 is not retired, right?
That's Ed Farmer.
Scotty Pods.
Scotty Pod.
Yeah.
They didn't retire at Farmers, though.
They did not.
No. Scotty Pods. Who else wore 22? Darren Jackson. I'll look up White Sox 22s. We got to sing, boys. We're going to take a break, and then I'm going to harass you more about Yankee prospects. And then, you guys ready?
Yep.
588-2300 Empire Today. Our friends over at Empire Today are the experts over in flooring and everything truly that you need for your home. With Empire Today, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they have copycats, but Empire cannot be beaten on their quality, service, and speed, so competitors advertise low quality products that Empire simply won't carry. Empire won't promise the lowest prices because anyone who does is putting flooring in your home that they wouldn't put in theirs. Empire keeps shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection. Empire's philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. It's kind of my philosophy with Herb and Vinny. I'm not going to, have, like 6 prospects to throw at you from the Yankees system. I only have 2. Right?
Oh, good.
2 simple choices.
Good.
Spencer Jones or a different guy, right? I'm the expert in a way. I did the research out there. I figured it out. Just like Empire, their product team exhaustively combs through thousands of product samples each year to find the perfect styles for your home, and you can check those out with their virtual floor designer. It's a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Just snap a picture and instantly see how new floors will look in your room. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details. All listeners, again, can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details.
Got a CHGO takeover coming up. 3 of them this year, but before that, we also, and we'll announce it eventually, on opening day, we have a live watch party going on, and I'll give you the details of that later in our shows. Not today, but it's a special place. We got it for a 12 to 1.
That's a tease.
Huh?
That's a tease.
It is a tease. But if you want to join us for one of our takeovers, we got 3 scheduled right now. May 27th versus the Toronto Blue Jays. What up, KPW? June 24th, we could see Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts playing shortstop poorly in the Dodgers on June 24th. Or if you want to see the Cubs, August 9th, you got fireworks, and you got that guy hitting home runs, Christopher Morel, coming to the South Side. So if you want to join us, our seats will be in section 147, which is on the third base line. And remember, if you are a diehard, and if you want to become a diehard, ALLCITY.com to become a diehard today, you get 20% off of these events. 20% off of hats. 20% off. Well, that's not my hat, but that hat right in front of me, you get 20% off of those. You get a free T-shirt when you become a CHGO diehard. And, of course, we just relaunched our Chicago collection at CHGO. You can get one of those great shirts. We can't probably get that St. Patrick's Day shirt to you before Sunday, but they have the CHGO pizza hoodie, the CHGO CTA T-shirt, or the one that I love the most, the Second City T-shirt, which is coming in the mail for me right now. So allchgo.com. If you want to get one of those shirts, you go to CHGO Locker right now. And like I said, you get 20% off when you become a diehard and access to our Discord as we're having great conversations. Sean's talking to all the people out there. They're talking about how Dylan Cease is trash and not that good.
I'm annoyed.
Oh, my God. Sean is so annoyed. But that's good. It's good conversation to have with people that are, in there. And as Sarah flashes it, Vinny put together painstakingly the CHGO White Sox season guide, which only our diehards have access to.
I looked up Braden Shoemake's stats from last year.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I looked up Zach DeLoach's stats from last year.
You don't have to.
So become a CHGO diehard so you can get access to that, so you can reward Vinny for his hard work and also get knowledge on what the White Sox of 2024 are going to be this year. So join us for a takeover, get a T-shirt, read Vinny's article on CHGO, and become a diehard member and join us in the Discord and irritate Sean a little bit more.
Well, okay, first off, I don't want to say that these people are irritating me because it is good conversation, okay? I do actually appreciate Sports Gal Al for, being, for contributing. But one of the questions is, I said that since 2021, Dylan Cease has an ERA of 3.54 over 525 innings.
Mercy.
He has started the most starts since 2021 in all of baseball. I think those are pluses. And Sports Gal Allie said, "What is it if you exclude 2022? Why?
Those count.
Like he pitched then.
The suggestion is
that's a third of his starts.
Sure. I would imagine that the suggestion is that his best year was
an outlier.
The argument would be that his best year was an anomaly. I am not saying that. I'm interpreting.
But I'm just trying to figure it out. So 2019 was his first year when he was 23. He only made 14 starts. That's really not a huge sample size. In 2020, a pandemic year, a kind of crazy year for everyone, 58 innings, and he had an ERA of 4. That sounds like a guy that kind of figured a little things out over, the year of, 2019 to 2020. And then in his first full year, 32 games start, he had over 200 strikeouts, 226 strikeouts, the largest K per 9 in all of Major League Baseball, and had a 3.91 ERA, and then followed that up with a 2.20 ERA. And then the next year is his worst year. So, really, he's had 5 seasons. One of them is his rookie year, so I feel like you can kind of write that off when he's 23 years old. 3 of his 4 seasons have been good. It's not like the league's figuring him out. He has a fastball that's top 10 in Stuff Plus, a slider that's top 10 in Stuff Plus. You look at when you compare him and Gerrit Cole of starting pitchers since 2021 with 400 innings pitched. Gerrit Cole is 11th in ERA. Dylan Cease is 22nd. Dylan Cease first in game started. Cole is 3rd. Innings pitched, Cease is 15. Cole is 2nd. K per 9, Cease is 2nd. Cole is 4th. Ground ball rate, Cole's 38. Cease is 53. In WAR, Cole's at 5. Cease is at 8. In K percentage, Cole's at 4. Cease is at 6. Soft contact percent, Cease is at 13. Cole's at 25. Home run rate, Cease is at 12. And Cole's at 35th. Mm-hmm. He matches up. He had a bad year last year. Womp womp. That sucks. I don't know. This stuff plays, and I think it's very fair that Chris Getz is holding out because I don't think it's crazy for them to ask for Spencer Jones when you see the plethora of their outfielder. They can afford it. If his elbow's fucked up, they can afford Spencer Jones.
You got me hyped up, Sean. I didn't know he was that damn good.
Hey, I'd be fine if they signed him. But our owner's out here saying, we're not going to offer $300 million contracts to pitchers. And that's what Dylan Cease would likely get. Would you rather have Yamamoto or Dylan Cease? You can go take Yoshinobu Yamamoto for $325. If you could sign Dylan Cease for less than $325, I would do that deal today.
he's shown you durability. He's shown you top of the league stuff, like you said. Yeah, I would do that right now.
Well, I know people are upset because like the game started. You see that he has most games started, and Cole is one behind him. And Cole started 96 games. Cease has started 97. You look at the innings pitched. Cole's pitched 591 innings. Cease is only 5 for 25. Right? He doesn't go deep into
Cole's
games.
An anomaly.
Gerrit Cole's also like 34. No offense. Sorry.
Were you saying that as a bad thing?
Well, I'm just saying it more as Dylan Cease is younger than
this
him.
guy
Dylan
is
Cease
34 and his life is over.
He's making $8 million, and he's going to be arbitration eligible next year. Like, you won't even have to mess around with a contract. Like, they can afford Spencer Jones to go get Dylan Cease to replace Gerrit Cole. And if they don't make that deal because the Yankees aren't willing to budge, that's fine. Clearly, I feel like the White Sox are putting the pressure on the Yankees right now with the whole, we're hearing that there's another team offering another top 100 prospect. You might want to give up Spencer Jones. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
I mean, the way they've acted all offseason, they don't need to put pressure on anybody. The thing that's putting pressure on the Yankees is Gerrit Cole being hurt. That's what's putting pressure on the Yankees. The White Sox are sitting there saying, the price.
Yeah.
This is not a car dealership. This is Target.
The price is the price.
The price is on the sticker. It's not going to be changed. You can't come in here and talk us down, make us not give you the undercoating or whatever the hell happens at a car dealer. But the pressure is not coming from the White Sox being like, you better make this trade right now. The White Sox have the commodity.
Yep.
There are going to be teams that need him by the end of July. The Yankees need him now. If they feel pressure from themselves, from their own need, because they're watching what's happening with their team, the games count as much as in April as they do in September, right, Herb? Mm-hmm. Then the pressure is there for them to go get it. The White Sox do not need to add any additional pressure. They have Dylan Cease. Some other team knows what to offer them to get him.
And if I'm Chris Getz, I'm going to be like Fat Joe. Yesterday's price is not today's price. You are in a advantageous position if you're Chris Getz. As Vinny said, they need a top-of-the-line starter if Gerrit Cole's out for an extended period of time, which it's looking like it might be. So I'm saying if you're not talking about Spencer Jones, at minimum, we don't need to talk. Hang the phone up. Get out of here. We'll talk to somebody else. We'll just have my man on the side. But remember, in July, if my guy does what he does, Dylan Cease does what he does, that price is going to be even higher. So you can get him for cheap now. In July, it's going to be a little higher. So, hey, your choice.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a gamble. Maybe he does have a 4.50 ERA. Also, what if his fastball velocity stays the same? And then what if he also finds or refines the grip of his slider? That was the best pitch in baseball in 2022. So yes, you could possibly exclude it, but also I like to think of it as very interesting information that, hey, maybe he could throw the best slider in baseball, and that we saw be really effective. What if going into the trade deadline, Dylan Cease has an ERA under 2.50? Very possible. Like that, yesterday's price is not today's price. I guess, Fat Joe would say it a little bit more emphatically.
And then I hope that Chris Getz is not enamored with, hey, we're in the playoff hunt. Because if Dylan Cease is doing that, I assume that the White Sox are doing some damage in the AL Central.
You would? Why?
Yeah.
Because he
pitches every 5 days.
Yeah, because
they could go 1-4 every 5 days.
To be fair, Michael Kopech is an ace. Gerrit Cole, Greg Crochet is an ace. Fetty's an ace. Soroka's an ace.
I guess I'm just saying, it wouldn't be unheard of for a bad team to have a good pitcher.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Garcia
I just wish he doesn't get enamored, we can compete. No, trade him. That's the part you trade him, where if he's a 2.5 or below, you're like, yeah, you're out of here, brother, and let's get all the things that we can get for your services.
I would just say this too. What were you basing that whole stat comparison on with Dylan Cease? That him and Cole have pitched. Close. They've made the same amount of starts, right? Or Cease has made more.
Yep.
Gerrit Cole is hurt. Nestor Cortez is not doing so well. Carlos Rodon is hurt all the time. Dylan Cease pitches.
Yes.
If you're the Yankees, you should see some value in that right now, because arguably your top 3 starting pitchers are not known for that, at least in the present.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, too. You bring up the guys that are in the free agent market, they're both lefties. Yep. Cole and Cortez also both lefties. So I don't know if you would also look for
Rodon.
Rodon, right? Rodon, my bad. I don't know if you'd also look to for a righty to replace Cole. I'm unsure. Okay, so Gerrit Cole was a very highly thought of prospect. He was called up when he was 22. Obviously, he was the first overall pick. He was called up when he was 22, and he pitched 117 innings. I am still taking his 23 season to his 27 season. The first time he made, or second time he made an All-Star was in his 27th season. His first time was when he was 24, and he had seasons of a 3.88 ERA and a 4.26 ERA when he was 25 and 26. He went to Houston and was very good. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Little spider tack.
Little spider tack. But the thing that you look at Gerrit Cole from those years, 140 games started. Wait. Okay. He just pitched more. There was also a pandemic. But 140 games started, 865 innings pitched, a 3.39 ERA. Very good from Gerrit Cole. Cease, 658 innings pitched, 123 games started, a 3.83 ERA. I understand that he's not Gerrit Cole.
Well,
levels.
Gerrit Cole is potentially going to be in the Hall of Fame. Like
Yes,
he's very good.
right.
That's fine. Nobody needs to knock Gerrit Cole in this conversation.
But it was just more like, I don't know. I actually don't know what that was for.
I don't know if
Cut plus.
Dylan Cease is necessarily in Gerrit Cole's neighborhood, but he's down the street. He's close. The numbers you present are there.
Garrett
He could
Cole
bike to
also
his house.
wasn't
He could.
Gerrit Cole wasn't Gerrit Cole until he hit 27. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I think it's just like Dylan Cease has put in the work. He has thrown over 600 innings in his career. Like, I think it's only just positive that a person that has seemingly also figured it out, seems cool, calm, collected. We saw a little bit of his personality come out last year, but I think even from the clips that we saw at 2024 spring training, like, he even seems more relaxed. Like, I don't think that the trade rumors have really affected him. He's like, whatever, I'm going to be pitching in a baseball uniform on a mound. Like, it seems very simple to Dylan Cease. It doesn't seem like he's having the issues of Michael Kopech. It really does seem like a person who could take off, just absolutely skyrocket and not, spin out into oblivion.
And
I don't know.
And wouldn't be affected by the New York and the mystique and the Yankee thing and the media because he's the coolest customer as you can get. If you talk about the trade rumors, like, you know him, Vinny, you've talked to him. It didn't seem like it affected him at all. He was like, fine, great.
Yeah,
let's go on disc golf.
And it's in line with the way he's been for the last few years too. I mean, you hear him after a start. If it goes wrong, he goes, "Yeah, should have done better," kind of thing. If it goes great, he goes, "Yeah, I was happy with it." Like, it's not. He's not. He lives by he delivers on the maxim that everybody talks about: the don't get too high, don't get too low, don't let this thing linger and bother you, or the opposite, don't let it swell your head up, kind of thing. He's all about going out there and being a baseball playing robot, and he's good at it.
Mm-hmm, right. And two, like, I think it seems like he's possibly Brian Bannister's trying to get everyone to throw a cutter. If he has another pitch to offer to lefties, like, he could be extremely more effective. We talked about a changeup, and he throws that weird, like, 71 mile per hour changeup. But if he's able to actually, maybe just throw a 93 mile per hour cutting fastball that goes in to lefties, he could be extremely effective. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Dylan Cease. All right. Anyways, if the Yankees don't say, yes, we'll trade you Spencer Jones, what could they possibly offer? There's one final thing before we get out of here. Roderick Arias is a person that we want to put on your mic. Roderick Arias. He's 6 foot tall, 178
He's not
pounds.
as tall as the other guy.
No, he's not. That's a good observation,
Thank
Vinny. Is 6 inches shorter than Spencer Jones. He also plays shortstop. He's a switch hitting shortstop and obviously throws with his right hand like most shortstops do. He's 19 years old, which means he's going to be extremely raw. Also, I think do I have that wrong?
What?
Is he 18 last year? Or is he 19 now? No, he's 19. Okay. September 9th, though, is his birthday, so a late birthday. So he only turned 19 until last year. So the stats I'll show you for when he was 18, mainly. Fangraphs has him rated as a 20 on the 20 to 80 scale.
That's as bad as it could be.
But he's only 19 is the point. He has a lot to grow from here. He does have some power to his game as a 19-year-old, and he's obviously got some decent speed, and Fangraphs thinks that he'll turn out to be a decent defender at shortstop. If you look at his stats from rookie ball, he doesn't seem to be a good defender. Fielding percent, which is just what, assists divided by errors, right? Or total chances divided by errors. 866 fielding percentage when he was 17, and then a 912. So it got better.
All right, here we go.
But he had 13 errors in 2022, and then 8 errors in 2023. So not really there yet. But again, he's only 19, and then in rookie ball, 267 average, 423 on base, 505 slugging, 6 homers, 17 stolen bases, 27 walks, 29 Ks.
Baby.
This guy's yet to play single A baseball.
Single A baseball. He's got a big leg kick, which would probably be lessened down once he reaches the majors. I saw that one Paul Konerko video, and I'm now a swing doctor. I would think that you'd have to lessen the leg kick. But he likens to Francisco Lindor. Lindor obviously plays a very decent shortstop, provides power from both sides of the plate. It's not obviously, this kid's going to be Francisco Lindor. He could also suck. He's 19. But if everything panned out, he could be a player similar to Francisco Lindor. But that's really what the Yankees want to give up, is more of Fernando Tatis lottery ticket rather than the Spencer Jones. This guy's been at Double-A and has been fine.
Of course, the team would rather give that up than a guy who's close to the major leagues. But if you're the White Sox right now, I would imagine that close to the major leagues is probably in your criteria for what you want back in this sort of trade. Mm-hmm. I mean, as we've talked about a few times, this is not. I should say this: it's not intended to be the type of rebuilding effort that we just saw under Rick Hahn, which is, hey, we've got all these guys in 4 years. You guys are going to be pumped kind of thing. Chris Getz is trying. The hope is that he can get this done in a much shorter time period, and that he'll be able to learn this year about this team that can set them up for more immediate success than something way far down the road. If you're trading Dylan Cease for teenagers,
yeah.
I mean, that is forget even the lottery ticket aspect of it. It's the time. The time aspect of it is, well, hopefully that'll pay off in 5 years. That is not I think the timeline that Chris Getz is thinking about right now.
And remember, they don't really have to trade Dylan Cease. When I think about lottery ticket trades, remember I'm thinking about that Padres trade for the Cubs players
Darvish.
with Darvish, and then you have one guy that's maybe coming up, Owen Casey coming up for the Cubs is going to be a power hitter, but all the rest were lottery tickets, so they maybe got one in there. If you're just having a bunch of lottery tickets for Dylan Cease, I think most people who are White Sox fans are like, nah, that's not the move. And as Vinny said, they're looking for more MLB-ready type of players, maybe a year away at most for the players that they're going to be having, and because they want to turn this thing around quickly. And so I like the player, and I know people are poo-pooing. It's like Lindor had above average speed. It's not a one-to-one, comparison, but those stats look great. He's a young player who strikes out or walks as much time as he strikes out. Gets on at 40%. Hey, those people are about as young or a little older than him, and he's already doing that. So I just progress him to the next level. Yeah, he'll take 4 or 5 years until he gets to the majors, but he looks like a nice player. But that's not the feature of the trade if you're the White Sox. That's a throw-in. That's an extra, even though he's a top 100 guy.
And just for blank name's sake, who's saying whomever is pushing the Lindor comp is trying to trade him. I made that comp up. I did not read that anywhere. I was like, he's a switch-hitting shortstop. Francisco Lindor. I didn't think about that too long, so my bad. This isn't a narrative builder. I was just trying to have some fun. So it might be. But I don't know. Melissa brings up the Sale trade, and we are still waiting for that to pan out. And that seemed like the biggest home run ever. Yohan Moncada, Michael Kopech, top 100 prospects. Moncada was fine. He had some spurts.
Kopech is a lot.
Interesting still.
He's been injured even more.
But, what are the Yankees waiting for? You're trying to make the playoffs. Dylan Cease is a top-of-the-rotation pitcher. You're talking about trading the 84th prospect in all of baseball. Like, this isn't even a Yoan Moncada, Michael Kopech situation. This isn't even a Jason Dominguez situation. Like, what are you doing? Trade him. Like, if there was a trade, I think White Sox Tom asked, would there be an emergency podcast? Yes. Hell yeah. Can we call it an emergency, Herb?
Yes, you can.
All right. So, hell yeah, there'd be an emergency podcast.
We're going to roll up to the studio in an ambulance.
I know a guy. Yeah, I think that Getz is fine to hold out because it really does seem like a lottery ticket, or Spencer Jones, a guy who could possibly play right field next year. That sounds a lot more interesting.
Or perhaps there's a better deal elsewhere. It's
From
not.
where?
It's not.
From where?
It's not Yankees or bust.
From where? I would love.
It doesn't have to happen today.
I would love to talk about a team. What team?
There's no clock on it, Sean.
Yeah,
That's true.
we've seen Gerrit Cole get hurt.
That's true.
I've heard pitchers talk about the pitch clock being a force to make pitchers, starting pitchers in particular, hurt more than they were the years before. So, yeah, Chris Getz is playing this right. Hold out and get what you want. He's playing it perfectly. He still has 2 years of Dylan Cease. He can help the White Sox and can help whatever team he gets traded to.
I was going to read this from John Heyman, so I'll read it now. This is from the New York Post. Dylan Cease has been out there, and in terms of loot, he is unquestionable abject bargain at $8 million this year, plus another arbitration year.
In terms of loot.
In terms of loot. In terms of yar, matey. There was some whining about the asking price for Cease, but teams have dealt with the Sox suggest they seek maybe 1.5 times more than what the Brewers got for Carbon Burns. That seemed close to fair to me. While Burns is better, Cease is paid much less and has 2 years to go. So I don't know. Like I don't think the Sox are off in holding out here. And if they're not going to be giving up Spencer Jones, don't deal with them because maybe there is a team out there. Maybe the Orioles are out there. Maybe Kyle Bradish's elbow is effed up, and then they give you a guy that's even better than Spencer Jones. Maybe you get Colton Cowser. I don't know.
As Months Behind says, yeah, I've been waiting and holding out for Baltimore, and I hope that Chris Getz is probably holding out. Hopefully the Baltimore Orioles get off to a not-so-great start where they're kind of competing, but not way out in front of the AL East, and they have to trade for Dylan Cease because they have a farm system that you want to deal with.
It's looking like Dylan Cease will likely wear those 83 uniforms again. Are those still in rotation? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right.
So. Not a fan. It's time to change.
I mean, it's Sunday fun day.
They're colorful, Herb.
Who cares?
Give me the red ones.
Well, yeah.
But
give me the Dick Allens.
The red ones are just the black ones, just red.
Yeah,
thank you.
They look good.
Yes, thank you. Yes, yes.
No, I'm fine with those because those are a different jersey.
I mean, I like those too. Those are
a completely different jersey.
I just like seeing a pop of color.
Right. Well, I guess that even goes against my vest thing because it's just the same jersey, but
correct
just
with the sleeves cut off.
With the sleeves cut off.
Yeah.
So I don't really care about the red pinstripes because it's just the same jersey.
Well, red, but it's red.
Yeah, I mean, there is the 71. It is kind of the 71 logo too, right?
It's like that little dented S thing on the hat. Yeah,
maybe. That's Vinnie Duber, our CHGO White Sox beat writer. That's Herb Lawrence, our CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson, your CHGO White Sox podcast host. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and make sure you're joining the Hawks for pre and post game later on tonight as they take on the Ducks. Thank you to Sarah for producing the show. Follow us at CHGO_White Sox. And Herb, do you want to plug your tourney battle at all? Do you want to go?
Nah, I'm losing to Ozzie Guillen Jr. right now.
You're just going to lose? You're just going to...
Probably. He got his dad, Ozzie Guillen Sr., and Freddie Garcia to endorse him. I don't have those people.
Guys, breaking news. Bailey Horn got cut.
Son of a bitch.
What?
I mean, cut from spring training. He's going to Charlotte. Yeah.
We just got him.
I thought you meant cut.
No, cut. It's a roster cut.
My bad.
If he was cut, I would have said DFA.
News. I thought
it is breaking.
It is breaking news. They just got the email 1 minute
That's
ago.
it. It's just Bailey Horn.
Yeah.
Former Cubs
51 players remaining in camp.
All right.
Brad Keller's one of them.
Bye, Brad Keller. Wait, no. Hi, Brad Keller. Yuck.
You can read about that in today's White Sox Weekly newsletter, by the way.
If you're a CHGO diehard, go to sign up today at allchgo.com. All right, that's Vinny. That's Herb. I'm Sean. Thank you to Sarah. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.